All right, so now let's get into the heart of the notes here. So 3.1 to 3.3, it's all talking about parallel lines, angles, and transversals, so I kind of smashed that whole few sections together. So we're going to start with a piece of information here, and this is that measurement of angle 1, and sorry if the numbers are a little small here, is 70 degrees. So we want to go through this list, and we want to figure out what every single angle is. In fact, with this knowledge of 70 degrees, we can actually do a lot with that. So let's get started with this. We do need to know one thing too, and we'll talk about this a little bit later, but lines C and D are parallel. So we know that these are parallel lines, so that's going to help us extremely figure out the answer. So the first thing is going to be the measurement of angle 3. And so if we know angle 1 is 70 degrees, what is angle 3 going to be? And the correct answer for this one is 70 degrees. And we know that because it's vertical angles with angle 1. All right, see if you can go through this. You want to make sure that you're going in order from top to bottom, because if you go in a different order, then there's going to be assumptions that are made that you might not be able to. So definitely go with part B next, see, pause the video, and see how you do. When you come back, I'll kind of go through it. So our next one, angle 5. We're going to say angle 5 is 110 degrees. We're going to say it's a linear pair with angle 3. As we go through these, you're going to see that there's so many different examples that we could have used, different options that we could have used, and it doesn't matter which one we pick. As long as you pick one, you're good to go. So just a reminder, remember we have the vertical angles theorem that says if angles are vertical, then they are congruent, which is how we know that this is 70 degrees and that's also 70 degrees. And we also have linear pair theorem that says if two angles are adjacent and make up a whole line, then they are supplementary and they're going to add up to 180. So to get this answer here, I just did 180 minus 110. 180 minus, 70 to get 110. So I know this is 70 degrees. I now know that this is 110 degrees, and we can keep going. So the measurement of angle 7. That is also going to be 110 degrees. And I'm going to say vertical angles with angle 5. And we could have said linear pair here as well. So once again, multiple different things here we could have done. So let's go to measurement of angle 8. So that's going to be this one here. And we are going to say that one is 70 degrees. And this is because it's alternate interior angles with angle 3. So here we go. Here's a little bit of information about alternate interior angles. If we have our lines that are parallel, then we know that alternate interior angles are going to be congruent. So I'm going to pause right here and come to our diagram and say, all right, so if we know that if the lines are parallel, then we know that those are going to be congruent. And we already know that vertical angles are congruent and linear pair are supplementary. So let's keep working. All right, measurement of angle 2. So this one is going to be 110 degrees because I'll say it's corresponding angles with angle 7. And so what do we notice about angle 7 and angle 2? It's that they're both 110 degrees. So I know that alternate interior angles are going to be congruent as well. Sorry, put that in the wrong place. Corresponding angles are going to be congruent. All right, measurement of angle 6. So this one's going to be 70 degrees. And I'm going to say it's same side exterior angles with angle 7. It's going to be 70 degrees. So this tells us a little bit about same side. Same side is going to be supplementary. And last one, measurement of angle 4. All right, so angle 4 is going to be 110 degrees as well. And my reasoning I chose was alternate exterior angles with angle 7. So if we go back here, we know alternate exterior angles are going to be congruent. And I didn't use same side interior angles, but from your deductive reasoning, if same side exterior are supplementary, then these are also going to be supplementary. So as I said earlier in the year, we're going to have kind of two main equations that we use all semester long. And it's going to be either things are congruent, so you set them equal to each other, or things are going to be supplementary, and you add them up and set them equal to 180. So kind of the way I remember that is like same side is supplementary, and I use that alliteration of the S's to kind of help me remember that. So same side interior angles are supplementary, same side exterior angles are supplementary, and then hopefully we remember just that a linear pair is 180 on its own, and then all of the other ones are congruent to kind of help us out there. So note that G could have had many, many, many different answers. You could have said that it was a linear pair here, a linear pair here, vertical angles here, corresponding here, same side exterior here, or as I said, alternate exterior there. So lots of different reasonings you could have had for that one, and as long as it makes sense and it's correct, that's totally okay. It doesn't have to follow me exactly. All right, next page. So I have kind of another pair of lines here. Go ahead and tell me what the relationship is between here, and make sure that you use good spelling as you're going through these. So go ahead, do 1 through 9, and see how you do. When you come back, you will see the answers. So pause the video. All right, so I'm just going to kind of run through these pretty quickly, but you can see the answers here. So A and G, they're across from each other, so they're vertical angles. E and D, alternate sides of the transversal and interior to the pair of lines. Same side exterior angles for A and H. Okay, same side of the transversal, but then exterior of the parallel lines. Number 4, C and D. We have corresponding angles. Notice this one's top left, and this one is also the top left of those 4 angles, so they're corresponding. 5, D and G, angle D, angle G. Same side of the transversal, and interior inside the pair of lines, so same side interior angles. C and E are vertical, they're across from each other. A and B, alternate exterior angles, so notice alternate sides of the transversal, and then outside of the pair of lines. H and E is corresponding angles, bottom right, so they're going to be corresponding, they're in the same position. And F and G, right here, alternate interior angles. Once again, alternate sides of the transversal and inside the parallel lines. Okay, so this next part says, hey, using those same 9 angles you just found, now tell me whether they're going to be congruent or supplementary. So I'm going to go back to this page just so we can write the answers here since we have this. So A and G, since they are vertical, are going to be congruent. Okay. Go ahead, see if you can find all the other congruent angles that are going to be on here. So we have alternate interior angles are congruent. We have corresponding angles are congruent. Alternate exterior are congruent. Corresponding angles are congruent. Alternate interior are congruent. And vertical angles are congruent. So remember, but this is only true if these lines are parallel. So we kind of have to keep saying that those lines are parallel, then they're going to be congruent. And our supplementary ones are going to be, remember, the same side as supplementary. So angle A and angle H are supplementary, and angle D and angle G are supplementary as well. All right, so you'll see some more stuff in your notes here. It's just more of the same, really being able to tell what is the relationship between these angles, and then also which ones are congruent and which ones are supplementary. If you can tell that, you're going to be doing really, really well for this unit and for all the test questions. So I'll post an answer key to this page, but it's more just practice. Make sure you feel comfortable with it, and then move on when you do. So this one, and then this one's going to be quite a challenge, seeing that we have 2 pairs of lines here. But go ahead, give that a shot, see how you do with it. All right, and at this point, we're going to stop. You'll notice no LT check yet. Once we get all of this put together, we will do an LT check tomorrow once we finish the whole 3.1 to 3.3 section. So instead, you have a little bit different activity. In your packet, you'll see after this Geo 3.2 practice page of algebra problems, which we'll get to tomorrow, you're going to see the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The ones that say identify the relationship between angle blank and angle blank. This is going to be kind of your check for attendance for today to make sure that you kind of have this down a little bit. So there will be a Schoology thing to help you out with that as well. So that will be your assignment today. And once again, learning target check tomorrow.